Well, you all know the maxi skirt is the latest craze and everything comes back. So I want to show you how to make a simple maxi skirt. It's really like a journal skirt, and you want to measure from your waist to your ankle and add 2 inches, and then it's the width of the fabric times 2. So this fabric is like a crinkly gauze, semi-sheer fabric. The width of it is about 45-50 inches wide. So I cut 2 lengths of this, and then I stitch the side seams together. So you don't have to even cut or serge the side or finish the side, because we're just going to use the woven edge of this, the selvage, the tightly woven edge. But I did so from 9 inches down. I left my zipper opening. And if you look on the video, I just posted a new video how to sew in an invisible zipper. You'll know how to sew the zipper into your skirt. So then the first 2 things, cut it from your waist to your hem to your ankle. Plus I add a couple of inches, because we got to do a basting stitch along the waist. And then we got to hem it. Alright, so I sewed the side together already. One side is stitched together. Now I want to take it and fold it in half. And then I want to mark a notch. So here I marked the notch already at the center front. So this one notch is going to represent my center front of my skirt. And I want to do the same on the other. So fold it in half and pull it up to the center and notch it. And then one will be for my center front, the other will be for my center back. Now, if you have a commercial pattern already with a waistband in it, go ahead and get the waistband prepared. You know it's going to fit your waist. So I put pins in here where the notches go. This is my side seam, because remember, this skirt is going to zip on the side seam up. So this would be my front left side, my center front, my side seam. This is my center back, and then this is my other side seam. So this waistband go from your waist all the way around back to your side. And make sure I cut the waistband on the opposite grain line, on the lengthwise grain line, because it's the strongest grain line. So these grain lines are going in opposite directions, because this is more stable. Alright, that's my strongest grain, my lengthwise grain line. So what we want to do is a basting stitch. You really want to do 2 rows of basting stitches. I only have 1 here. 2 work better. And if we take this after you get the zipper in, and you do the basting stitch, so do 1 roll of stitches at 5/8 of an inch, if that's what you're using for your seam allowance, and then do another one at 1/4. So I'm going to go ahead and do the basting stitch. So your basting stitch is the largest stitch on the machine. So I have one at 5/8, and I'm going to do another. And you want to do the same thing separated. This one I do different from for the back. I do it up to the side seam instead of trying to pull a whole long thing across.
So the basting stitch is just to make sure that the fabric doesn't unravel?
No, the basting stitch is a stitch we're going to put 2 rows in here so we can gather this skirt into the waistband. So now remember, we would already have the zipper in, and we would do our 2 rows of basting stitch. So how are we going to get this to fit into our waistband? Is we're going to take my notch, right sides together, and line it up at the center. Remember, we had that notch to line it up at the center front. That's my side seam. Here's my center front. My notch to my center front.
Do you have a tip to show us when we're working with a fabric like this to know what's the front, the difference between the front and the back?
Really, the front and the back of this, it looks exactly the same. So you need to make a decision and decide whether which side you're going to use for the front and which side you're going to use for the back. And then put a pin or a mark in it so you'll have it labeled, because it's hard to distinguish the front from the back. Now I have the center pin. This here is working out at my center back. And I want to pull the 2 threads on the same side. That one don't want to work. I have to go back and do it later. These 2 threads on the same side to gather my...
To gather the fabric.
To gather the fabric, exactly. So we want to gather these.
Oh, so
And
that's
if
what
I
you're
pull
talking about,
this,
the
it'll
basic
gather up into to this notch. So I want to gather this to this notch. The reason we divide it, so we can keep all the gathers evenly divided into the space. I won't have more on this side and less on that side, right? And then I would take this and pin it in place,
okay.
right? And then I would do the same thing along the whole entire skirt. I would gather this one to this side. Remember, my zipper is already in, and I would do the same with this, from this side all the way to the other end where my other zipper was. Sew it together and then finish it whatever way your pattern tell you to finish a waistband. And then hem across the bottom, always press. And I have a video to show you how to do a small roll hem. So whatever kind of hem you want, but that'll work best on your sheer fabric, because you don't want a big thick hem on your sheer fabric. And you'll have a really nice, easy maxi skirt. And then rock it with a nice wide belt, cute little knit fitted top, and show off your skills. So God bless your project.